G'day guys, Quinn from Cubicle Free. In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can manifest love and money into your own life. I'm going to tell you how I do it, and I'm also going to give you 3 tips on how you can do it in your own way. I want to share with you a little story because it was totally unexpected, but I think it gives a really great example of how the universe works. From a very young age, probably I'd say about 18, I really wanted to attract money. Love, not so much. It sort of was just there, but I now realize that love and money together is so powerful. So at the age of 18, I had this goal to have $1 million by the time I was 30. And the plan was to go to university, get a good job and save a good amount of it and invest a certain percentage each month and build up my net worth to be $1 million by age 30. Well, that was the plan. After about, I'd say 2 years, maybe even less, I was deeply unhappy in my job. I had gone to university. I had finally managed to get through engineering and finally got a job in engineering. This was during the last recession. And I'd worked my way up the corporate ladder. I had more guys working for me. I had a company car. I was getting promoted. On the surface, things looked great, but inside, everything was not great with me. I basically knew that I needed to be free. I couldn't be stuck to this treadmill of work and rinse and repeat. It just wasn't going to work for me. So I decided that instead of working, I was going to go and travel overseas. So from Australia, I went to Canada and ended up spending 3 years in Canada. With the Canadian winters, I took down in Mexico and Costa Rica. And eventually, I ended up in England. And I spent another 3 years in England. And when I first arrived, I tried to get work, which I wanted to do something a little bit more than working as a waiter, which I'd been doing in Canada. And so I went to a recruitment company to work as an engineer. And they pretty much just said to me, look, you've only got a couple of years experience. You're really not very useful as an engineer, but would you like to work here? And I said, absolutely, sounds great. Does it pay? And so I ended up working for a recruitment consultancy in London. And that turned out to be an awesome job because I was basically helping engineers from overseas to get work in the UK. And I was really invested in that. It was something that I'd done. I'd gone to the UK and it had worked out really well for me. And I wanted others to have that same experience. On the other side of things, I was helping employers to find these great engineers. So it really was a thing of love. But in that job, once again, I came up against the wall of freedom. And the freedom that I discovered that I no longer had was that I was again working for somebody else. And so when I finished up at that last job that I ever did in the UK, I basically didn't know what I was going to do. But by that point, I had met the love of my life, who ended up turning into my wife, and now we have 2 beautiful kids together. So we moved back to Australia, and I really didn't know what to do, but I decided I wanted to never work for anyone else again And I came up with this idea to help people from overseas to get work in the UK through a website. And I did that job for a while, but it was really the love, I think, of the people that were looking for work and the love of the people that needed these candidates that made that work. And it ended up being quite a successful business. So from the age of 30 up until about the age of 38, I'd accumulated around, I don't know, about 200 grand. So good little nest egg. And we'd also bought a house by that point. So we'd saved enough for a house. And so I kind of turned things around with this love for not just money, but for the people behind the money. But without further ado, let's get into the top 3 ways that you can attract love and money. The first thing you can do is to rewire your brain. Now, to do this, I meditate every day. Now, you don't have to meditate, and I'll give you a way that you can not meditate and still achieve the same results. But I meditate because it enables me to get into a zone where I can basically reprogram my brain and my body to this future that I want. And that is a future with lots of love and lots of abundance, which just happens to be money. And I think the key to this is really to be able to envisage yourself in this new future, but to be able to do it with emotion. And in that moment, you are essentially reprogramming your body for what is going to happen or what already is happening. If meditation seems a bit woo-woo, then you can do the same with affirmations. The key here is to feel the emotion as you are affirming what you want to have in the future. It's really the emotions that makes the big difference to realizing what you want in the future, whether that be money or love or anything else. The second thing I practice, which I think is really important, is the practice of self-love. I've only learned how to practice self-love relatively recently. I do it in really little ways. Like, for example, just yesterday I went for a walk and bought myself an ice cream. Things that I wouldn't have done in the past, but that really, I guess, show myself the self-respect of love, self-love. And by being able to do that, I feel that I can love others. Well, I can actually, I know that I can love others far better, and I can give more to my work. I can just give more to the world when I feel loved and I practice self-love. The third tip is to take action. Grab a journal or grab a piece of paper and write down what has inspired you from this video. Write down the things you want to change and where you see your future in terms of love and money. And just by the mere act of writing those things down, you have begun to manifest a new future. Guys, I truly hope you got something valuable out of this video. I absolutely love making these for you guys. It's really a labor of love. I don't make any money out of it yet, but if you would like to be on this journey with me, then I would love to have you along for the ride. Check out my video from last week about really getting rid of loneliness and feeling connected to others, because I think it is an important part of the picture. Thanks for watching, guys. See you again soon. Lighting test. I think I got the audio. Lighting is okay. Composition okay. I'll just clean up this bit of the desk. Remove some cats. And she'll be sweet.